Long ago, in ancient Greece, a golden apple sparked a conflict of unimaginable proportions, the Trojan War. It all began at the grand wedding of Peleus, a mortal king, and Thetis, a sea nymph. The gods were invited, except Eris, the goddess of discord, known for her troublemaking. Eris, feeling slighted and eager for revenge, decided to cause chaos. She tossed a golden apple inscribed with the words "to the fairest among the goddesses." Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, each believing herself to be the rightful recipient, laid claim to the apple. Their vanity and desire for the apple led to a bitter dispute, threatening the peace of the celebration. Zeus, king of the gods, wisely refused to choose among them. He instead assigned the task to a young Trojan prince named Paris, unaware of the momentous consequences of his decision. Paris, a young man enticed by beauty, found Aphrodite's offer irresistible. He chose her as the fairest, earning her favor but igniting the wrath of Hera and Athena. Little did he know that his decision would have dire consequences, setting in motion a chain of events that would lead to war. Aphrodite, true to her word, directed Paris to Sparta, where Helen, the most beautiful woman alive, resided. Helen was already married to Menelaus, the king of Sparta, but this did not deter Aphrodite. She used her divine powers to inflame a passionate love between Paris and Helen. Blinded by love and Aphrodite's influence, Paris and Helen eloped to Troy, taking with them treasures from Menelaus's palace. This act of betrayal, a grave violation of hospitality and honor, enraged Menelaus and ignited the fury of the Greeks. The theft of Helen and the insult to Menelaus's honor could not go unpunished. It was a transgression that demanded retribution, a debt that could only be repaid in blood. The Greeks, united in their fury, prepared for war, determined to avenge the wrong done to their comrade and reclaim Helen. Helen, often referred to as the face that launched 1,000 ships, was no ordinary woman. Her breathtaking beauty was legendary, said to be a gift from the gods, but her life was also intertwined with fate and tragedy, making her a pawn in the gods' games. Born from the union of Zeus, disguised as a swan, and Leda, a Spartan queen, Helen's beauty attracted attention from a young age. Many Greek heroes sought her hand in marriage, leading her father, King Tyndareus, to devise a plan to avoid conflict. He made all suitors swear an oath, the Oath of Tyndareus, pledging to defend the chosen husband against any who would wrong him. Menelaus, the king of Sparta, ultimately won Helen's hand, and with her a kingdom and a pledge of protection from the greatest heroes of Greece. However, the gods' intervention, particularly Aphrodite's role in her infatuation with Paris, set a tragic course for Helen. Her abduction, although seemingly consensual at the time, became the catalyst for the Trojan War, forever etching her name in the annals of history. The Oath of Tyndareus, sworn by the suitors of Helen, played a crucial role in the events leading up to the Trojan War. It bound the most powerful men in Greece to uphold Menelaus's claim to Helen and defend him against any threat. When Paris, with Aphrodite's help, absconded with Helen, he violated this sacred oath. This act of betrayal was not merely a personal affront to Menelaus, but a transgression against all who had sworn to protect him and his bride. Menelaus, invoking the oath, called upon his former rivals to honor their pledge and help him reclaim his wife and punish the Trojans. The oath, a symbol of unity and obligation, became the rallying cry for the Greeks, uniting them against a common enemy. The stage was set for a monumental clash of civilizations, a conflict that would test the limits of human strength, courage, and loyalty, forever immortalized in the legends and literature of ancient Greece. Section 5. Gathering the Greeks. Menelaus, driven by anger and the need for vengeance, turned to his brother Agamemnon, the powerful king of Mycenae. Agamemnon, recognizing the gravity of the situation, agreed to help his brother and called upon the Greek heroes to fulfill their oath. Across the land, messengers traveled, delivering Agamemnon's summons. From palaces and remote islands, the greatest warriors of Greece heeded the call. Each hero had their reasons for joining the fight. Some bound by the oath, others seeking glory and adventure. Among them were the cunning Odysseus, king of Ithaca, known for his strategic mind, the mighty Ajax, a warrior of immense strength, the swift-footed Achilles, said to be the son of a goddess and the greatest warrior of his age, and many more, each bringing their unique skills and strengths to the Greek army. However, gathering such a formidable force was no easy feat. Some, like Odysseus, initially reluctant to leave their homes and families, tried to evade the call. Yet the weight of the oath and the allure of adventure eventually drew them all to Aulis, the assembly point for the Greek fleet. Section 6. The Wrath of Achilles. Achilles, the son of the sea nymph Thetis and the mortal king Peleus, was central to the Greek campaign. His mother, knowing a prophecy foretold his death at Troy, tried to protect him by concealing him among the daughters of King Lycomedes. However, Odysseus, renowned for his cunning, devised a plan to expose Achilles. Disguised as a merchant, he presented the young women with gifts, including a spear and shield. While the others admired the trinkets, Achilles instinctively reached for the weapons, revealing his true nature. Bound by his destiny and eager for glory, Achilles joined the war effort, becoming the Greeks' greatest asset. However, his fiery temper and pride would also prove to be their undoing. A dispute with Agamemnon over a captive woman, Briseis, led to Achilles withdrawing from battle in a rage. Achilles' wrath had dire consequences for the Greeks, who found themselves struggling against the Trojans without their champion. The war reached a stalemate, with neither side able to gain a decisive advantage. Section 7. The Siege of Troy. The Greek fleet, consisting of over 1,000 ships, finally arrived on the shores of Troy. The sight of the massive army instilled fear in the hearts of the Trojans, who knew they were facing a formidable enemy. The Trojans, led by their valiant king Priam and his sons Hector and Paris, were no strangers to war. They retreated behind the impenetrable walls of their city, prepared for a long siege. Troy, with its high walls and strategic location, proved to be a tough nut to crack. The Greeks, unable to breach the city's defenses, resorted to a siege, hoping to starve the Trojans into submission. What followed was a long and brutal stalemate, lasting for 10 long years. The war raged on, with both sides experiencing victories and losses, their fates hanging in the balance. The plains surrounding Troy became a battleground where heroes clashed, their names echoing through time. Achilles, Ajax, Diomedes, and Odysseus on the Greek side, Hector, Sarpedon, and Aeneas on the Trojan side. Section 8. Heroes and Monsters. The Trojan War was not just a conflict between men, it was also a battleground where gods and monsters played their parts, shaping the destiny of mortals caught in the crossfire. The gods, divided in their loyalties, intervened in the war, aiding their favored heroes and hindering their enemies. Hera and Athena, still harboring resentment towards Paris for choosing Aphrodite, sided with the Greeks, while Aphrodite naturally favored the Trojans. Their divine interventions often tipped the scales of battle, leading to unexpected twists and turns. Amidst the human drama, mythical creatures also emerged, adding another layer of danger and wonder to the war. The Greeks faced the terrifying Hector, a formidable warrior whose skills were almost unmatched. They also faced the monstrous multi-headed Hydra, slain by the hero Heracles before the Trojan War. These encounters with the divine and the monstrous highlighted the epic scale of the Trojan War, where the boundaries between myth and reality blurred, and the stakes were higher than mere mortal life and death. Section 9. A decade of war. The Trojan War dragged on for 10 long years, a grueling stalemate that tested the limits of endurance and resolve on both sides. The Greeks, camped outside the walls of Troy, faced hardship and despair, their hopes of victory dwindling with each passing year. Battles raged, claiming the lives of countless soldiers and heroes. The plains surrounding Troy became soaked in blood, a testament to the brutal reality of war. The siege took its toll on both sides, but the Trojans, trapped within their city walls, suffered greatly. As the years turned into a decade, the war seemed destined to continue indefinitely. The Greeks, weary and demoralized, began to lose hope. They longed for their homes and families, questioning the purpose of their continued sacrifice. Just when the Greeks were about to abandon all hope, Odysseus, the most cunning of their leaders, devised a daring plan, a plan so audacious, so cunning that it would change the course of the war forever. Section 10. To be continued. The Greeks, inspired by Odysseus's cunning plan, constructed a massive wooden horse, an offering of peace to the Trojans. Little did the Trojans know that the horse was hollow, its belly filled with Greek warriors ready to strike. The Trojans, believing the horse to be a divine gift, a symbol of their victory, pulled it within their city walls, unaware of the danger lurking within. As night fell upon Troy and the city celebrated what they believed to be the end of the war, the Greeks prepared to unleash their final, devastating attack. What fate awaits the unsuspecting Trojans? Will Odysseus's cunning plan succeed? Find out in the thrilling conclusion of the Trojan War, coming soon in part 2.